Hey, hey, hey! And we now tuned in to another great episode of Talk It Out. And I'm your host, the host with the most, your road dog, Chill. And we cannot forget my beautiful co-host, the Queen of Canada, Miss DeBoss. How you doing, DeBoss?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good. That is good. You look lovely today, as normal.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so I am excited today. We have a great guest on the show. He is a well-known figure in the music industry. He's a heavy hitter. He's done a lot of big things. Multi-platinum producer. Like, this man has worked with everybody from Tupac to, everybody. And I'm just excited to have him on the show. So without any further ado, I would like to bring on the incomparable Big Nino Brown. What's going on, Nino?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, I'm peaceful, man. I'm just excited to have you on the show today. You know, man, it's a pleasure. It is a pleasure.
Definitely.
Man, you didn't even charge me either.
But you owe me one, though.
On the low. I'll keep it on the low.
I was sitting here with the boss. How you doing, the boss?
I'm doing good. I see all those plaques behind you.
A few. We got a few.
That's just that he has over 200 plaques.
No. Kermit is always embellished.
Yeah, well, he has close to 200 plaques.
So where is
He's very modest.
Where is he? Where do you live?
I live on the East Coast. So I'm in the Rhode Island area, and then we have some offices in New York as well.
Okay, New York.
New York. Yeah. So yeah, we have a studio over there and nice setup over there, and we're doing some big things. We just started a new company called Primex Media, and so we're doing content aggregation from television to film and music, and we really have some really talented young artists that have given me a second win. I'm so excited to be working with these young kids and helping to create opportunity for them to get out here and live the dream. So,
well, Big Nino, how did you get that name, Big Nino?
That's a long story.
Oh, well, we want to hear it.
We got time. You won't talk it out, Nino. We got time. Go ahead, take a sip of the cup. Take a sip of your drink. You're like, this is gonna be a long one.
We want to know where you got Big Nino, where it came from.
Well, we all come from the same circumstances, and so that just followed me from my youth. So we were a little rebellious and out there,
He's trying to be shady with the name.
Yeah, I'm really trying to talk around it, but when you're young, and you're coming up together, everybody gets a nickname, probably based on their characteristics or what we look like or how we act. So I think mine was probably based on my behavior, but
the fact that Nino Brown was the New Jack City of his era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was a little rebellious back then, but I ended up getting it together thanks to music. So that took me down a different road than I was headed. So it worked out.
So you have Price Global One. What's that mean?
So Price Global.
You're breaking them down.
Yeah, Price Global is a production company that I started, I think, in 2014. And then about a year ago, we started Primex Media. And so they're two entities, but they work in conjunction with each other. So Price Global. Primex is the main company, which is about all content. So we have some reality shows. We have some podcasts in development. Man, we have some television projects that I'm really excited about. Some really, so you all will be seeing some things that we are a part of and developing uh, under the music supervision banner, and under some episodic things that we're working on. That's got some great attachments and some really great actors, and so we're doing it on the music side and we're doing it on the film and television side. So it's exciting.
Okay. Well, tell everybody, like how long you been in the business and like what got you started and who are some of the names that you've worked with since you got about 1 million plaques and whatnot.
So, well, first of all, I came up in a musical family. So, my grandfather was a professional drummer. My father was a drummer. And so I think I was probably doing rudiments at 2, 3 years old. So, I just came up around it. And and I remember being a kid and my father's band would be practicing and we'd be running around the basement. And so I was just always around it for starters. And then during the era that I grew up, like most Black families, the house was full of 45s and albums, and it was just a great time in music. So I don't think I really had a choice in the way that I turned out. Things that come to mind is Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, and Amazing Grace by Aretha Franklin, and all of these things, Curtis Mayfield and Isaac Hayes, and just a great time in music, and that influenced me. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time hip hop came along, I was mesmerized, man. It just, I think it hit me differently. You know what I'm saying? I knew everybody's songs, everybody's lyrics, just everything. And I used to walk around with 12 inches, and it was just an amazing time. But what happened with me was I had a friend who mentored me because I was kind of getting in some trouble, and he was my brother's best friend, and he was in the group Ready for the World. And so he took me under his wing and, started surrounding me around the music business and mentoring me and helping me to develop. And, so that was kind of my beginnings. And that was in the 80s, without telling my age. And that was kind of the start of it. And so actually being around it and, I remember being in the civic centers and backstage and, just kind of watching everything, like just very close up. And that was, it just made me realize it could be done. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people have dreams and they have desires, but they don't know how to get there. And so I kind of had someone that was teaching me along the way. So that was a real blessing for me. So me being the type of person that I am and was, I took it and ran, and it didn't make it an easy path, but at least I got the real tutelage about what it took to be successful. And as opposed to spinning my wheels and I got the reality of what it was going to take and the things that I needed to do. And so that was the origins of it. And so I was this close to it during their heyday. You know what I'm saying? And so I started meeting people and cultivating relationships, and working in the studio with them guys and things like that, man. And it just took off from there. And and I really did not think that it was going to turn into what it did, because I ended up in so many different areas from this. I mean, from owning retail stores to recording studios, music stores and recording studios, and just all of these different things over the years. And of course, now 35 years later, I look back and so many things are so different. So, over that time, we've had to reinvent ourselves and educate ourselves in different areas of the business so that I could have that career. So, yeah, so it's been a phenomenal journey,
Yeah, yeah. So who are some of the people, some of the stars you've worked with?
Oh man, wow. I'll kind of talk about a lot of my major affiliations, or closer affiliations. I've worked on a lot of projects that ultimately became successful. But I've worked with people like Leela James. I don't. She's a neo soul artist. Commissioner Gordon, I've worked very closely with over the years, and so he produced a lot of those records, and I was brought in to help break those records. And artists like Kaya, we did the Thug Mistress project. We actually did that from the ground up, which is certified gold. Which is really interesting because when you look at working on a lot of the major label projects, the resources are there, and so they have a good shot at catching on. But the things that are really motivating for me are these ground up things where no one really knows these artists, and it's an independent situation that you're able to really build. And I remember going around the country with that record, and we couldn't get arrested with it. People just were not interested at all. And so the doors were shutting on us. And I don't know, I think we were out on the road for probably 90 days and hitting the conferences and, hitting the different markets, secondary market, you know what I'm saying? Which is where it starts. But in the end, when you see the end result, and we ultimately got the panel on that record, I think there was maybe 2 stations that really didn't add it at the end of the day. Those are the kind of projects that stick out to me. And, I've managed Code 187, so I was involved with a lot of the stuff that he's done project-wise. And, he's done everyone from E40 to Too Short to Snoop and Warren G. And so that whole G-Funk era and Above the Law, of course. So I was fortunate enough to catch that train. And we still work together very closely today. And we're going back 30 years. So that got me involved with a lot of things on the West Coast. I think, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Above the Law was one of the first. Maybe they did the second record with Tupac. The second video that we seen Tupac in was Above the Law record. And of course, they had a close affiliation with the whole Digital Underground camp. But so I've done a lot of stuff on the West Coast. Did some of Daz's stuff with Steve and those guys, and a lot of Death Row stuff. So Pac, of course, that's a big thing in my history.
So you worked the Machiavelli record. I see the plaque there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you ain't
studying the whole black scene here.
right. You know, you got to pull the accomplishments out of Nino. He ain't gonna tell you nothing. He just
You know what's interesting about it though is that you know, when you think of these things, there's a story associated with everything, and the history becomes so lengthy. You know, even I was listening to the radio the other day, and this record that I haven't heard forever that I helped break was a record called Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Huge independent record, probably one of the biggest independent records I've been a part of.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot about that record. Like it's this thing, you know. So you know, it's just at a point, I think it becomes a lie. And so then you hear something or see something that reminds you of something, and it takes you there, you know. And so, I mean, we've caught probably 3 waves. You know, I did a lot of stuff in the Midwest with the DFC and you know different guys from the Flint area. That was a whole thing with the Flint Cleveland connection with Kermit and all those guys, and so we did a lot in the Midwest with independent artists. So that was a way. That was kind of the gangster rap era where you didn't need radio, and you could really hit the streets with these records, and you can move units, and you know, like that was one phase for us. And rest in peace, Breed. And how it's all interconnected is mind blowing because I managed T-Dub from the DFC, and the DFC was part of Ain't No Future in Your Front, that record, which was Breed's breakout hit. So it was MC Breed and the DFC, Ain't No Future in Your Front. Ultimately, they got signed to Atlantic with Neil Levine and Warren G. This was his production debut, where he actually produced some tracks on their album, and how it just goes on and on and on, you know. And then Warren G turns out, and this is before the Warren G that we came to know from Death Row, you know, like it was just the early stages of that. Jazzy Faye was another one who was a part of that early picture, and just to see all these things turn into what they did, you know, and all these people go on to become these huge, impactful figures in the business. And so I was just kind of always there, always around things. And I guess I was in the right circles, but I had a couple of mentors that involved me in the things that they were doing. And that's why I'm the way I am, Joe. And you kind of see how I move. I really try to be open to giving and serving, you know, in my maturity, you know.
Right.
And we had, of course, you know, I'm one of the co-founders of the ECMD show, and we had Goody Mom on, and they come to mind, and one of the brothers talks about serving, you know. And you know, when you talk about the things you've been a part of, because I've always been a role player. This is a team sport, so I can't really take credit for these records. I can say that I played a role in their success in context. But what I can say is that when you reflect on the things that you've done, even the money that you make, the things you've been able to do, I think it really comes down to what have you given back? Because it's a blessing just to be able to do what you love to do and be around the things you love to do and be able to take care of your family. I raised 5 kids, put them all through college, and this is all I've ever done. So, you know, that's been a blessing. So.
Well, that's what's up. So upon that, speaking of blessings, we got to go bless these bills. We got to go pay some bills here. So we'll be right back with more Big Nino and the boss, because it's her turn to ask the questions on talk it out right after these messages.
How do you balance the two? Diana McCauley, let me start with you if I could, because in fact, in the question and answer discussion that was taking place at the launch of the report, there were one or two people who were actually saying, with all these complaints, why don't we just shut down the industry? Is that Jet's aim?
No, I wouldn't say that was our objective. I think what happened was we were shocked at how little information was available to the public. We've been working on both sides.
Work is good for the soul. It is. It is very good. So, Scott, this would have been, the last couple of weeks would have been when the Democrats would have had their convention, and now that it will not be a convention and the Republicans are having a convention, should Americans make something from that, one having a convention, others not?
I think they should draw that the Democrats at least are more COVID sensitive and smarter in this sense.
Welcome to Real Life Matters. I'm your host, D-Boss. Real Life Matters is a power-packed inspired program that brings you real people with real matters. If you are a company, brand, or artist, we will take you to the next level. Watch Real Life Matters Monday to Friday right here.
Looking for a TV show that brings you a raw, uncut, unbiased opinion? What about a show providing a platform to tell us about your business or talents? Tune in to Talk It Out, Monday through Friday, hosted by Chill of Come Clean Empire and his co-hosts, The Boss, Corey Whitmore, and DJ Despair, where we bring you not just a TV show, but a TV experience.
Hey, and we are back. We are back. Yeah, man. I love them commercials, boy. The commercials will take you for a roll. We haven't let you hear all the commercials yet, Big Nino. Some of them are kind of funny. But but you know, I want to pass the mic on over to the boss herself, the Queen of Canada. Go ahead on, the boss.
Yeah, okay. Well, Big Nino, what have you done? You know, you've done so much in the industries and different. What would you like to do that you haven't done?
You know, the actual film piece, I think, is a great platform, another platform to be creative. And I'm really getting into that. I was into it some years back. And I've done quite a bit on the music side, but I really want to get into the creative side. It's just an opportunity to be creative on a whole nother level. And I think it's kind of a natural transition, and I'm an artistic person. So, you know, it's a bigger platform to be creative, and it still has the music component. So I'm really looking forward to that.
All right. So okay, you work with so many different people. So for artists and actors, so who would you like to work with that you haven't?
Man, are you talking musically or are you talking
both? Whichever.
Okay. Wow. I mean, musically, wow. Right now, I'm really feeling her. You know, she reminds me of this generation's Curtis Mayfield. I find her music to be really impactful. I'm loving Jay Electronica. You know, I mean, there's so much talent. There's a lot of really talented people. So, but her right now is probably at the top of my list.
Okay. Anybody in Canada?
Wow. It's someone I would say, but right now that's up in the air. But I'll say, of course, Drake. What a phenomenon! What he's done is just, he's not getting the credit yet. And I understand there's so many huge legends that, are accomplishing things on the financial end, but we're going to look back at history, and he may end up being that one, the GOAT, while from a generational perspective, his music I've enjoyed it, but it's, really kind of geared towards some of the younger people. That dude he's just incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, Big Nino, I was going to say a different name, but I don't know why. It's coming to my head. But anyways, when you have gone on and transition, what kind of legacy would you like to leave here with the people?
I am a people person, and I really hope to have made an impact in people's lives, but young people in particular. And I'm a socially conscious person, and I want to see our community be healthy and in a better place. Now I'm speaking as a father who's raised 5 kids and wants the best for them in my community. And so there's a lot going on that I'm deeply concerned about. And, I don't want to criticize young people. I just want to figure out ways to be helpful and to have an impact and help change some lives like some people did for me. So.
Do you find it harder to teach the younger this generation now than, back to our generation or yours?
As much as I'm kind of on it, especially with my kids, when I think about the way we were, I kind of shudder to think of some of the situations I put myself in reflection, right? But man, these kids are pretty wise to a lot of things that we weren't. So I don't know, so it's the blessing and the curse, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Nino, you said a lot of wise things today. It makes people just wonder. You're like the Santa Claus, so to speak, of the music industry. You come bearing gifts of wisdom.
Santa Claus.
Well, when you're around as long as we've been, you're gonna learn a few things, and so there's a point where you share it. Now, we also ran. Listen, I used to run around what I got 25 years ago.
Right.
Keep that in mind. So I was a very different person.
Right.
So this is the refined person that died 3 times and was given life again and another chance to make a difference. So
yeah, I can relate.
Yeah,
I can most definitely relate. I died once, not 3 times, but once. So given that opportunity, it makes you really, really press up and think.
What does it say on your cup? I keep seeing a piece of it, but I'm sorry.
My daughter gave me this. It's King of Dads.
Jokes.
King of Dad jokes.
Yeah,
okay, so tell us a dad joke.
Okay.
You knew I was going to say that.
I was going to say
a dad joke.
Well, I don't know if it's a joke, but I just always wonder, were we? I don't know. It's like, okay, so the thing for me is that the kids are like this, right? Where we played sports, we played instruments, we were active in things, and it's just like and it really. This is a little deeper than I think we think. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the minds of the youth in these phones. You know what I'm saying? And what are they feeding them? So, we had a balance of things. And of course, we acted up when we got a chance to get away. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had all these things and some structure. And I don't know, man. This is, and I know it's not a joke, but it's like they don't talk on the phone. They send text messages. It's just a different time. You know what I'm saying? And
I hate this text messages unless it's something for an address or something. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. I don't want to hear how, what. You don't know. You don't. There's no emotion to it.
Exactly. The boss. You cannot. The words can have multiple meanings based on the octave, the tone. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. And when you're getting this communication via text, you don't know the spirit of which these words are being delivered. So it's like,
Sure.
You leave your mind open.
People I work with, it's like, it's So I work with some pretty rough people. So, but text messages are for, do you need anything from the store? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so like I'll tell like my son, call so and so and da 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 da, and he's texting. I'm like, no, I said call them. Get them, because that's how we communicate. Like so. Yeah, this is. This is pretty crazy. But what I do love is the platforms that it's given artists and the pluses, even this stuff with Clubhouse and these different things. And, I think that there's a great side to it. I just think we need some balance.
Well, with balance, speaking of the word balance, with all that being said, we got to go pay some bills. We will go ahead and pay these bills, man. And we have a video to show, one of your projects, right after these messages. Okay, so everybody out there watching us, we will be right back.
Sons and daughters of St. Lucia, love the land that gave us birth, land of beaches, hills and valleys, fairest isle of all the earth. But do we take this Helen of the West for granted? Do we allow strangers to come evaluate our precious stone while we only admire her beauty in glossy magazines?
In today's video, I'm sharing with you my recipe for a curry bean curd stick with pigeon peas, black pepper, and add salt to taste. You can always adjust after. In goes some chopped scallions, celery, onions, tomatoes, minced garlic, hot peppers and pimento peppers.
Welcome to 2-Minute Drill. Each contestant will get 2 minutes to pitch. Then they'll answer one question and get feedback from our other featured judges.
It's hard to get the taste right, and it's time consuming, which means that it could cost more for business owners to add this to their menu. We solved that issue by adding all our premium ingredients into a simple, easy to pour bottle that they could buy now for their restaurant. Dave, judges, with your help and these $50,000.
So you guys been knowing each other for quite some time, right?
Correct.
All right, so how long you been knowing each other?
I ain't really keep track, but I think I know him from the hood. He's younger than me, but I started hearing about him and then found out about him, got straight with him, whatever. There's a lot of history behind it, but I've been knew him from the hood. I met him, like, he came to our studio because we had a studio in the hood. And
Yep. It did it.
I like that one. I like that one with that big horn in his head,
Right.
Anybody came to pick me up like that, the door, I wouldn't even open the door.
Man.
Big, those 3 braids in his head or whatever the kind of style it is.
And these commercials could be a whole different show.
Well, Natasha looked that food was. She had that food looking good.
She be cooking, boy. Natasha be cooking.
And I think that was a vegan dish, so I really like the vegan. It has to have some meat or something,
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm aiming for it. You know,
I like my fish, meat, everything. So
yeah.
Well, on that note, I would like to go off and to tell us a little bit about rail. You know, what's going on with that whole situation, that whole movement, things of that nature, Nino.
Yeah, you know, Rel is a young artist who she has got everybody's attention around me. You know, like I mean, I've I got people with Grammys coming out the woodwork to work with her, and she has an amazing voice, very unique voice, and she can flow. She's next when it comes to female. She's the real deal.
Nice.
She's the real deal. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. How did you guys end up hooking up and doing the connection there? Like,
well, Rel's family. You know?
Okay.
So you know, she's from my city. She's family. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my niece. She's family.
Oh, she's actual family. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, before we get into the video, why don't you tell the people how they could get up with Big Nino if they had some stuff going on and wanted Nino to
just hit me in the DM, you know, at Nino.PriceGlobal1. You know, like we're open for business, and you know, we're looking for the most committed, because that's who wins. You know, and you know, we're looking for that special thing. We're really music people, so we're looking for artists that are artists. We don't want to replicate what's out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, and I see so much stuff all the way down to the motions, the stirring of the part in the videos, and you know, all that. We've seen all of that. So I want to work with people that want to be themselves and do something different, and you know, make music that's going to have an impact. That's what motivates me. And I'm not talking about any particular type of music. I'm just talking about that being who the artist is and being able to get that across. And so that's important to me. You know?
Well, you know, one thing I know about Nino is that Nino gonna tell you what it is and what it's like.
And my partner Timax too, you know, who's a great producer. He, you know, discovered Faith Evans and did records with LaShawn Page, Freddie Jackson, a lot of different people. Very successful dude in his own right, and we just clicked. And we just got such a great synergy, so we kind of got the best of both worlds. And so musically, we just want to do music that makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know, like there's a lot of things that you hear and it sounds good, but you're not feeling anything in here. You know? So when I hear Rel, like my hair stands up, you know, and she's just early in her development. I see a long-term picture with her. You know, I really see her, you know, developing into something beyond just a regular grind. I see her like Rihanna status potentially.
Okay. Well, yeah. So let's get to Rel. Let's get to this footage here that I have of Miss Rel and check out, you know, the level that Mr. Nino is referring to. So here we go.
Been authentic since I ended serving bitches that was labels, niggas too. Broke them up, put them together like my tables. A nigga who you? Cause I'm confused. I love what the nigga hustle girls for work. Just another nigga that works my nerve. Several let it real nigga, how absurd. Always talking shit behind someone's back. I turn around quick and you eat them turds. See my never dream from bad to worse. And I ain't have to reach up in my purse. See you do right by me, you curse. A red dude on me, I know my worth. I got Love MC and Queen Latifah inside my DNA. Bitch, I was born like this, raised to perform like this, try to transform it, I'm ruling that optimist. Listen, nigga, I did not come for no chatter chitter. Give me a lady with ignorant niggas. You broke the beat and I started with her. My name, you left finger on the trigger. Disrespect me and you get disfigured. Now I'm in the building, niggas acting different like they wasn't there when I was starting spitting. See the bullshit and they acting distant. Like all I'm good for is doing ham on niggas. Why don't these little niggas get the picture? Same verses to my duet. wrong niggas. Rise the rap setting traps for niggas. When I went for the bar up the bar for niggas. While your whole squad ran, that's a rap for niggas. Staring at you niggas like what happened, nigga? Been the hell and back for niggas. Now I get no reaction, niggas. Say they love me, fuck love, I need action, nigga. Water me some, no reaction, nigga. Water too, rough, I'm a living swimming. Eye on the prize, I'm just bouncing niggas. Do that for the win, no sucky bitches. So we pick a side and jump up off the fence. I landed with my niggas, now we with the shit. Wasn't making dollars, so it didn't make sense. Could've took a dub, it could be for the check. Now I gotta come for your neck, and I ain't gotta give no one respect. Do that up next, tell these motherfuckers run the check. If you niggas want some respect, tell these niggas back. It's in my DNA, nigga, match that. So good it like a creepy follow when the king of pop. And I'm blocked in the dark, where a nigga socks. Tryna moonwalk, brainstorm, purple rain. Fuck your name in the save, I'm a single in the game. With the chains, with the lane. Trevor lames like I'm Doc Dre in a Lambo. Straight out of mass, where the niggas think they're Rambo. Fuck 'em with bullet, but you ain't really tryna gamble. I be in the icon idol, feeling like Michael. Take a pic, Jackson, Tyson, Myers. Kill this shit fire, poppin' shit tire. Saga with precision, roll up on this fire. Stick with me, baby, it's about to be lit. Start making moves, now they all on my shit. I ain't gon' flip, cause I'm used to the shit. Submit in my Instagram, like in my pics. See this shit in cover, now we wanna redo it. Wanna lick the rapper, I ain't never go confuse it. Pleasure principles, we don't need to get into it. Put on another type of bitch and put the dick before the music. Nah, I ain't just an icon living. Resurrect the game, like a star just did it. Put me in the shop with my cousin, y'all trippin'. Presence is the present by your head, Thanksgiving. Woo!
Wow.
Woo! Okay. Okay. Real. Makes you say, woo! So, with that, on that note, I'm going to let all that marinate, and we're going to go and marinate to some more messages. All right. We'll be right back. And when we come back, Nino, you are about to play a game. Surprise, surprise. See y'all in a minute.
So many smash hits out there that you got as well. Itself. Some of the writers that you work with on this album, let's briefly touch on that. You went down to Nashville, man. You got a live band and everything.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. You may, your audience may not be familiar with this name. His name's Dan Auerbach, and he's one half of.
Today I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. The location, the views, the overall atmosphere. Bottom line, if you don't enjoy this episode, this series, this location, you, my friend, you're already dead. You just don't know it. That said, my trip includes a tour of what American Legacy Firearms is all about.
No, we like to do one-of-a-kind firearms here at American Legacy Firearms.
The late golfer Arnold Palmer was a favorite athlete of mine growing up, and his autograph's the only one I own or ever sought. Arnie was known to sign his name for anyone and on everything, and now we've got a guy in the White House doing the same thing. Biden has signed more executive orders over his first 30 days in office than the previous 5 presidents combined. Every leftist agenda and erasure of Trump policy is getting the Biden signature, and all of it before any congressional bill.
Okay, and we are back. So, Nino, we have a game that we recently started on Talk It Out. And this game is very, very unique in a way as to where it's all about the knowledge of you, what you know, right? What it is that I go and I read off some cards, and I read and give you hints towards a who, what, when, where, or why. You, my friend, have to tell me who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the answer to it. Okay? You got me?
Okay.
Either you have to tell it to me before the boss does.
Okay.
Okay. If you tell it to me before the boss does, and you have 3 different, different situations, you tell it to me before the boss does, you see Oh, wrong way. You see that Ferris wheel behind me? The little multicolored Ferris wheel there?
Mm-hmm.
This thing right here?
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Your name will be placed on the wheel. Okay. As to where every Friday we spin the wheel.
Okay.
When we spin the wheel, whoever name that wheel lands on gets a cash app.
Okay.
Courtesy of the boss and chill.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk it out. All right. So, with that being said, you got 30 seconds to answer each question.
Okay.
All right. From the point as to where I had, started or stopped with the questions. Okay. So you tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Okay. So, are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
Well,
I was banned in the US and Europe for 75 years and not lawful again until the 1990s. I am commonly called the Green Fairy.
Weed.
Nope. I am often served by setting a sugar cube on fire, then dropping it into me. I was a popular drink amongst some artists, writers, and musicians, such as Ernest Hemingway, Vincent van Gogh, and Pablo Picasso. I am derived from grand wormwood. I was thought to be an addictive hallucinogen. Hallucinogen. Yeah, that word.
Wow.
So, once again, and I'm going to read through them quicker. I was banned in the US and Europe for 75 years and not lawful again until the 90s. I am commonly called the Green Fairy. I am often served by setting a sugar cube on fire, then dropping it into me. I was a popular drink, some artists, writers, and musicians such as Ernest Hemingway, Vincent van Gogh, and Pablo Picasso. I derived from grand wormwood. Grand wormwood. I was thought to be an addictive hallucinogen.
Hash?
Do do do. Nope. Do do do.
It's not Nelson Mandela.
PCP? Legal in the 90s. What became legal in the
Marijuana?
Nope.
I'm going to ask the question so that he wouldn't know the answer to this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ding. All right. So the answer is absinthe. 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 Yeah, Google it.
Well, I'm sure you would Google it if you were on this.
All right. So that's question number 1 out the way. All right. As you can see, these questions ain't all easy. So let me know when you want me to stop.
Stop.
All right. My fruits come in hands and float in water. I am the largest herbaceous flowering plant. Walmart sells more of me than any other item. I am the largest herb in the world.
Tobacco.
Nope. I am naturally radioactive.
You're naturally what?
Radioactive. I didn't know that. Botanically, I am a berry. So I'm gonna read through it once again.
Where do you get these questions, bro?
My fruit come in hands and float in water. I am the largest herbaceous flowering plant. Walmart sells more of me than any other item. Botanically, I am a berry. I am the largest herb in the world. I am naturally radioactive. And it begins. Nope.
Tea?
Nope. Nope. Well, 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 well. Well, 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 well. Well, 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 well,
Fertilizer?
Nope, that's not it. Dum, dum. Ding. All right. The answer to this question is banana.
How is banana a berry, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That ain't making sense.
It said botanically, I am a berry.
That doesn't make sense.
Look it up.
Don't make sense.
I had to look it up. So y'all look it up. Botanically. So you have to ask yourself, what's the meaning behind the word botanically?
Well, we're going to ask you some questions back.
So botanically.
Right, Big Nino?
Yeah, I got a few.
But yeah, but that cup is a continuous drinking cup unless you keep adding stuff in there.
A botanical, well, it says here the definition of or relating to plants or plant life, of or relating to the science of botany, a drug, medicinal preparation, or similar substance obtained from a plant or parts. So bananas do come from a plant.
Mm-hmm. And a tree.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right, one more question. Y'all ready? Let me know when you want me to stop.
That right now.
Right now? That right there? Okay, you're like, you ain't catching me no more. Okay, here we go. I used to be a sovereign state. I am the whitest state in the country with over 95% of my population identifying as Caucasian. An estimated 33% of my population considers themselves to be hippies. I am home to Quebec cheese, 7th generation, Burton and Orvis. My state insect is the honeybee. I am home to a region dubbed the Northeast Kingdom. One more. Don't Google nothing. Don't be over there Googling stuff, Nino. I see you looking down.
No, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
So, one last time, I used to be a sovereign state. I am the whitest state in the country with over 96% of my population identifying as Caucasian. An estimated 33% of my population considers themselves to be hippies. I am the home of Quebec cheese, 7th generation, Burtus and Orvis. My state insect is the honeybee. I am home to a region dubbed the Northeast Kingdom. So, The clock now begins.
Portland?
Huh?
Portland?
For who?
Portland?
Nope. Who? Wisconsin. Might as well have been.
Seattle.
Nope.
LA.
Nope.
Arizona.
What is it?
Arizona.
Nope.
Denver.
Nope.
Sovereign, Oklahoma.
South Carolina. Florida.
All right. The answer is Vermont.
That's not a southern state.
It is
That's not a southern state.
I didn't say southern state. I never said that.
Considered one of the
sovereign state.
Oh, a sovereign.
And is known as the Northeast Kingdom. Where is Vermont located? In the Northeast.
In Rhode Island.
Not far, actually.
So yeah. Sorry, we gave it a shot, Nino. Maybe next time you come on here, we can get you, you can remember some of the things.
So I got a question for you. What year was Machiavelli released?
The year that Machiavelli was released was 1990. Hold on, let me think. 1990. What was it? 90s. Was that 96? Was it 96? Hold on. 96. I still got two more sets. I still got 10 more sets. 1996.
You got it. All right.
Hold on. And not only that, let me tell you, November of 1996. I think it was like the 5th. Am I right? The 5th or the 6th?
I'm not sure the exact date, but it was 1996, and it definitely was October, November.
Yeah.
I remember the day. It was late October, early November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
That was a reasonable question.
That really was, being that you have a plaque right behind you. I wish I could zoom in and saw the date right there on the plaque, right?
No, there's no date on it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have any shout outs or anything to say to any of your fans or any of the people out there? Or you want to shoot out your Instagram again to all of the viewers watching?
Yep, Nino.PriceGlobal1. Shout out to everybody. It's all love. Shout out to Timex, everybody over at Primax, everybody over at ECMD and everywhere else. And shout out to you all. Shout out to you all for having me. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
I look forward to coming back with some of these artists.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta reach out to Nino.
Right. Gotta get you on the boss's show too.
Okay. My pleasure. Definitely.
You have now been officially, Big Nino, talked out. All right. That's right, baby. Talked out. So with that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for more me and D-Boss, so we can get put more crazy stuff in your life.
Yeah.
And make sure you follow Big Nino. And see you later here on Talk It Out.
Let's talk.